Yeah, so I am always interested when I see, interesting posts, right? And recently, well, not recently, last few years, with the rise of, the protest and everything that happened in 2020, there's this big thing about collective identity and how a particular group today should be held responsible for the sins, the transgressions, the crimes of the past, right? Why? Because they're related to those past individuals on the basis of a particular characteristic, namely skin color. So I was on social media and I saw this individual, and they posted this post, and it said this: to justify slavery, we whites portrayed blacks as subhuman, primitive, stupid, and servile. There's some truth to that. To justify segregation, we whites portrayed blacks as morally corrupt, ignorant, predatory, and sinful. There's some truth to that. After civil rights, we whites portrayed blacks as evil, drug addicts, gang bangers, and welfare queens. There's some truth to that. There has never been a point in our history when we whites have systematically and institutionally valued black as we do our own. That's why hashtag Black Lives Matter. Period. All right. So again, there's truth to that. There was slavery, there was segregation, civil rights happened, facts, right? Historically accurate, right? Slavery was every single white person at the founding of the United States involved in slavery? No. Small percentage was. Large percentage were poor people. The government sanctioned slavery. Yes. Okay. Was it every white person? No, it wasn't. Well, let's move to segregation. Segregation occurred in the South. Again, government enforced. Was it every white person? No, it wasn't. Actually, there was even businesses that actually fought against segregation because they saw the economic impact that it was having on their business. But, that's not mentioned here. Civil rights. We whites portrayed blacks as evil. Drug addicts, gangbangers, welfare queens. Okay. Every white person, right? Every white person. Every white person. So there's this thing with this whole idea of collective identity, of breaking people into groups based off a phenotypic characteristic, something subjective. And when somebody breaks you off into that group, then based off of this post, you automatically assume all of the guilt, the crimes, the transgressions that particular group committed, quote unquote, all right, that particular group committed throughout its entire existence here in the United States of America. Now, that's a dangerous road to walk down, because if you are holding an individual who did absolutely nothing, had no involvement whatsoever, right, to the negative effects that particular individuals in the past did, and those particular individuals resemble those particular individuals in the present, then we putting ourselves in a situation that when we look at any group, right, are we saying that it's okay to say that, hey, because you belong to group A, and because group A has done these things in the past, you are held accountable, right? Let's be for real. Should we hold Black people accountable for being sold into slavery because Blacks in Africa participated in that? Should we hold Black people accountable who did things to Asians, to Latinos, right? Should we hold Asians accountable, right? for how they, I don't know, demonstrate Asians in, how they demonstrate Black people in China or in South Korea? Should we hold Latinos responsible, right? Because of the conduct of other Latinos elsewhere or here in America? It is a very dangerous thing to look at an individual, look at their particular physical characteristics, then from there, because they have those particular physical characteristics, assign blame to them, assign guilt to them, hold them responsible because there were individuals in the past who looked like them and had similar characteristics. They did something negative, inhibiting the freedom and liberty of another individual or group of people. And we look at that person today and say, hey, you are guilty. It makes no sense for me to walk up to a coworker of mine who happens to be white and look at him or her and say, hey, you are responsible for how people who look like me in the past were treated during slavery. It would be irresponsible of me to look at one of my coworkers or somebody that I see here in the city and say, hey, for segregation. And that individual is 19, 20, 22 years old. It's lazy thinking. Is there some benefit to belonging to a group? Of course there is. Shared values, shared beliefs, similar customs. But at the same time, we have to remember that we have to hold each one another accountable as individuals. We have to. Now, can my decisions impact those around me? Sure. I make some poor decisions. They can impact my family, right? But when we get larger, we bring in more and more people into a particular group, we have to be very, very careful not to look at an individual and assign blame to them when they did nothing, explicitly or implicitly. So just a thought. Let's be careful. When we say we, who are we talking about? And in the case of what is called justice, right? Justice holds those accountable who did those acts. It is not a form of justice to try to hold accountable somebody who had no intention, no desire, executed no type of energy to do harm to somebody. So those are the thoughts. Hey, it's Dr. Philip Fletcher. Humanity Matters. Y'all take care. God bless.